Welcome to Skypodcast. Watch out for a new episode every Saturday. Today, our topic is gonna be letters from the sky.
Help! My boyfriend is making me a pocket girlfriend. My boyfriend is ghosting me.
My boyfriend is borrowing money using my name. My girlfriend is texting her ex. My boyfriend is always snoring loudly.
I noticed that there's a lot of questions.
Yes. Sakit sa ulo talaga yung pag-ibig. Yeah. Happy Chinese New Year.
Happy Chinese New Year and happy Valentine's Day.
I'm so happy. I love Valentine's Day. Especially now because Valentine's Day is actually when we got married. Our church wedding.
Ah, talaga?
Di mo na maalala.
Oo nga pala, no? Anniversary pala natin.
So it's a very, very special day. And of course, with Slater and I, we love 2-in-1 celebrations para sulit. So if ever you guys are celebrating Valentine's Day, I'm happy for you. I'm excited for you. But if you're not, because single ka, it's also Singles Awareness Day. They always like to say.
Have you ever experienced being single on Valentine's?
No, I'm sorry. I'm so annoying.
Yeah,
I haven't.
I've experienced a lot of single Valentines, and what we used to do as friends is we've had like groups na all single people, single guys, and inuman.
You know what it's actually called? It's called Palentine's Day.
Oh.
So anyway, today our topic is gonna be from the sky again. Topic from the sky. Letters from the sky.
Yes.
And
I noticed that there's a lot of questions.
Yes, there are a lot of letters because you guys know that you can send us letters from the sky through our email address, dearskypodcast@gmail.com. And a lot of the letters that they send are
Puro
about
love letters.
Exactly.
Fitting din kasi Valentine's.
Sakit sa ulo talaga yung pag-ibig, no?
Imagine if it's Valentine's Day tapos nag-away kayo sa significant other mo.
Huwag mo kaawayin pag Valentine's. 2-in-1 pa naman yung celebration.
Yun yung ano.
Alright, so this one is...
Help! My boyfriend is making me a pocket girlfriend. Hi, Sky Parents. My boyfriend and I have been together for about a year now. Dapat ba ako mabother na hanggang ngayon, he still won't introduce me to his family and friends. I'm unsure about his feelings. Nahiya siya kasi age gap namin is I'm 23 and kakagraduate lang from college and he's 29 and former professor pa ng kuya ko. Oh, same age gap natin. 6 years. Ayaw niya lang talaga akong ipapakilala. I feel like I deserve a much deeper connection and he's opened up plans about marriage. Kaya lang, there's something wrong. Gut feel ba? Lalo na may history na kaming nag-break up. You know what? My earlier girlfriends used to complain to me about this.
Not introducing.
But in my defense, at that time, parang sobrang inosente ko, sobrang torpe ako, and sobrang takot ako sa parents ko, or like parang nahiya sa parents ko na parang, oh, may girlfriend na ako. Ay, mom, may girlfriend na pala ako. Oh. And at that time, I was the first few girlfriends. So my mom would like know about my girlfriends from other people. But it was never that I didn't love my girlfriends. It was more of, it just didn't occur to me and partly nahiya. Like parang it just manhid lang talaga.
Tsaka when your mom finds out about it from somebody else, edi parang in her head na tinatago mo na sa akin, edi negative na.
Mas na, awkward.
Parang mas ayaw mo na.
And yung mom ko, very awkward din siya na she wouldn't confront me. She wouldn't tell me na, oy, I need to meet your girlfriend. What if, eto, like we were dating for a year or two. It's getting serious, but I never introduced, you've never met my siblings, my family.
For me, red flag na yun. Kasi, well, it depends on what mindset I have, right? If the mindset I have coming into the relationship is I want a serious relationship, then you want to see it moving forward and I want to see myself as a part of your life.
Yeah.
But if you don't introduce me to certain aspects of your life, it makes me question our relationship.
Yes.
Am I worth it? Bakit niya ako tinatago? If it is a serious relationship,
Yeah.
and I feel like a year is serious enough.
Yes.
Parang it's worth having a conversation about or worth adjusting, no?
Looking back, mali pa rin talaga. Mali talaga siya na hindi ko ginawa. I feel like a healthier way to go about it would be, hey, bring it up. And now the ball is in his court. Na parang, huy, are you going to do something about it or not? Feeling ko lang kasi sometimes like there's just a lot of reasons na logical or illogical kung bakit ginagawa to ng tao.
I think also with us girls, we tend to overthink a lot and we think the things in our head are so common for everyone.
Yes.
But what I've learned from being in relationships
Na
and being
manhid ang
married
mga
is
lalaki.
Guys are so different from girls. And so I think in a relationship, it's similar. When a girl is thinking about all these things, like, it's been a year, he hasn't introduced me to his family yet, I haven't seen his friends yet, what does he think of me? Is he embarrassed of me? All of these thoughts are in her head. Whereas if you don't bring it up to the guy, chances are maybe he's not even thinking about it. Like, it never even crossed his mind because honestly, girls, men are from Mars and women are from Venus. Iba talaga. And it's so easy to say like, communication lang yan. Pero you know what? Communication really fixes a lot.
Yes. Maganda lang din to give him a chance to highlight it and napag-usapan na natin to This is serious and this is bothering me. Can you do something about it?
Oo.
Diba?
I think lang, when you open up the conversation, siguro hindi siya attack mode. Hindi siya like, alam mo, 1 year na tayo, di mo pa in-introduce. Parang maybe just be chill about it first. Like, give him room to, like, explain in a casual way. Like, don't put blame agad. So like, uy, alam mo, 1 year na tayo, bakit? Something like that, pa-cute. Kesa attack mode.
Yes.
Para light lang.
I just saw this video about si Bill Gates winning negotiations. Sabi niya, he never negotiates. It's always about like, pagdating natin dun, I'm asking you to help. I'm asking you to mentor me. So it's in a relationship, it's kind of like that. Like, if I go to you to ask for help, hindi siya magiging argument. If I go to you na, hoy, dapat gawin mo to, introduce me to my parents, tagal-tagal na natin, di mo ako introduce or whatever. Instead of, love, you know what, I'm really having a hard time. Like, parang gusto ko sana na makilala kita ng mas malalim. Paano kaya? Like, isa sa mga ways that I can feel like I can connect with you more is to actually get to know your
the
family.
People around you, yeah.
You're asking for help. When you're asking for help, you're asking for a kakampi. So the way to win that negotiation is not to do negotiation in the first place.
Ito yung tactics niya sa akin.
Yeah.
Kaya lagi ako napapayes.
Kaya napapayes ka at tatlong anak na tayo.
Kaya napapayas sa tatlong anak. Oh my gosh. Okay, next letter. Move on tayo. Ito, malala. Help! My boyfriend is borrowing money using my name. Sabi niya, my boyfriend and I are in a relationship for almost 8 years. We moved together almost 2 years ago and now have a wonderful 7-month-old baby girl. So very deep into the relationship. I received a call from a bank saying my credit is due, which surprised me because I don't use a credit card. I don't even have a credit card. Long story short, he used my old phone, which still has information on it, banks, etc., took out a loan. I'm totally done, but I feel bad about my daughter. I feel guilty of her not being able to experience a complete family. He's a good dad, but not a good partner. Talk me out of it, please. Oh my God.
Ang hirap naman yan.
Dude,
I think it's not in our place to actually like...
Ang hirap because for me, major trust issue, like you went through my old phone and like siphoned the information. It's kind of it's too much. Like, but at the same time, may anak na kayo, everything changes pag may anak na. It's not as simple as 1 + 1 anymore.
I know someone, yung problem naman niya, yung wife niya is kind of like addicted to designer things.
Okay.
So they're not super well off. They're okay. But yung wife niya, hiram ng money to buy designer things. And then, hindi sila super yaman, but it actually led to the downfall of their finances.
Okay.
So, this is more common than it seems, I would say. There's a lot of dynamics that are around it. Like, definitely, maling-mali yung ginawa niya. But also, saan mo ginamit yung pera? Were you just trying to feed the family? Well, most likely, hindi. Pero there's a lot of other layers to be peeled in this onion.
Yes, that's true. Ang hirap niya, no? Kasi, kung sasabihin niya, alam mo, I took out a loan, pero ginamit ko lang talaga to feed our family. Hindi ko lang masabi sa'yo kasi nahiya ako. Syempre, pride ko rin to provide for us.
Yes.
All of these things, di ba na yung usapan? Pero kung sasabihin niya, okay, ginamit ko yung pera, nagkasino ako. Iba din. So, parang ang hirap magbigay ng opinion kung hindi mo talaga alam.
Yes, and I feel like, I think I saw a study na parang the number one argument of any couple is finances.
Really?
Yes. So, especially when you're just trying to make ends meet, madugo talaga yung usapan na yun. Especially if someone in that relationship has a spending problem or an income problem. I think that's a whole podcast in and of itself.
I'm very afraid to talk. It's a very sensitive topic. Oh, ikaw naman.
Help! My boyfriend is ghosting me. My boyfriend is 27 and is in the Air Force, and I was assigned in a different city than where we are originally from. We tried our LDR, but anytime we have problems, he would ghost me for weeks. I always managed to push and fight for the relationship and would travel miles just to patch things up. As he is my biggest comfort, he is also my biggest source of distress. I love him so much that I can't help but be affected negatively in each bump. I'm afraid that even the slightest trial would cause our downfall. Should I still fight for this relationship?
Honestly, a relationship at the start, boyfriend and girlfriend kayo, or basta hindi pa kayo kasal, wala pa kayong anak, is supposed to be the time na wala kayong problema.
At the time that it's supposed to be easiest.
Yeah, I mean, wala kayong responsibility masyado. You have your own life. You're thinking of your own self, your own responsibilities. You're not even thinking about your partner yet. So parang the two of you are independent bodies having fun. So for you to be having this much stress over a relationship when you're not yet married, to me, personally, I would just get out. Kasi the moment that you're married and you have all of these other problems when you become parents.
And for life to Kasi trabaho ng lalaki.
Hindi mo na nga kaya ngayon. What more pag may anak ka pa, tapos i-ghost ka niya.
Yes, and problems aren't solved by ghosting. Kahit nag-aaway kami ni Kryz, whenever we have a fight, that's one thing I appreciate about our relationship. In my past relationship, when we fought, like, okay, away tayo. Hindi tayo mag-usap for 3 days until we cool things off.
But that was because of you or your girlfriend?
Both. Like, parang, okay, hindi ka sasagot sa akin, hindi ka nagte-text, hindi rin ako nagte-text, tingnan natin.
And then it becomes a game.
And then parang may isa, whether sometimes it's her, sometimes it's me, it's like, oy, kamusta? And then that's where the conversation starts again.
Well, we can't do that because we live together.
Like when we were boyfriend-girlfriend, ever since, parang hindi naman tayo dumaan sa ganyan It's always like, hey, let's fix the problems even before we sleep. Imagine if kayong dalawa, nag-ghost kayo each other and you're just pahabaan ng pasensya na lang. So, it can extend for weeks. So, it can sometimes lead to, wala kang pakialam sa akin. Sige, di ba?
And then when you're not communicating with each other or trying to fix a problem together, you're getting information from people you share your problem to. So for example, if Slater and I were ghosting each other and then he goes to his guy friends and says, this is the problem with Kryz, blah, 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 then all of these guy friends feed new information in his head that's not true, and he starts to believe that. And also the same with me, with my girlfriends. Parang it's just adding more strain to the relationship.
Yes.
So ghosting, I feel, is not healthy at all.
Yes.
In fact, we know people who have ghosted their siblings. And then, after parang ilang years, di pa rin sila nag-usap hanggang ngayon.
Yeah. Posible ding, the boyfriend gets used to, hahabulin naman niya ako, bahala ka na. Makipag-away ka, sige, habol ka na lang sa akin ulit. Mag-ghost lang ako. So it becomes a habit. So it becomes very, very unhealthy. From reading the letter lang, whatever problem it is that you're having now, from experience lang of marriage and being with Kryz, it's gonna get worse. No, whatever problem that you are having, it's going to be amplified whenever you're starting a family, having to build a house, or like
kasi nakikita na kayo every day, wala ka nang takas talaga.
Yes. And like parang committed na talaga kayo to each other.
Yeah.
And if mag-ghosting pa, imagine being married with kids and hindi sumasagot yung partner mo.
I can't. I would just, you know what, pack up. Bye.
Yeah, it's easier said than done, but give a little bit of love to yourself as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's always harder when you're in the situation, right? Parang it's so hard to see the light.
It's so easy for us to say.
Because we're old and we're cobwebs and jaded and like we've been through it already.
Yeah.
Okay, next letter. Help, my girlfriend is texting her ex. Okay? 2 years na po kami ng girlfriend ko. We're LGBT. Bigla na lang po siya naging cold sa akin after a year kahit simpleng bagay lang po. Bumilis uminit ng ulo niya. Konting kibot po, galit siya.
Kibot.
Konting kibot. Hindi ko siya maintindihan. Hanggang one time, magkasama kami, biglang nag-pop up sa text. Nakita ko, nabasa ko rin, na nag-text yung ex niya. Sabi ko sa kanya, bakit nag-uusap pa rin kayo hanggang ngayon? Tinatago mo sa akin. At pinaltan mo pa yung name niya. At ang mas masakit, nag-I love you ka pa.
This is one of those letters na from the outside perspective, alam mo na anong gagawin mo. Kung kaibigan mo, tanungin mo. Alam mo na rin kung ano ang advice at payo ng mga kaibigan nyo. It's a very straightforward and simple answer that it is unacceptable and there is more that is going on behind the scenes. More likely than not. Yun lang masasabi ko.
Okay, next.
The problem with these kinds of things is that we are always in denial, and because we were talking about this, especially for example, meron kang kaibigan na magsasabi, oy, si Slater is cheating on you. Usually, parang dinedefend mo si Slater. And yung initial reaction mo, ha? Hindi kaya, like, hindi ka maniniwala, and you're actually going to be in denial and sometimes even put that person in a bad light. The messenger, basically shooting the messenger. Because your idea of who your partner is so ingrained in your head na this guy is the guy that tells me I love you. This guy is the guy that takes care of me, gives me hugs every morning, takes care of my family and everything else. So, nabibiyak yung image of that person. Like, that's not the guy that I know. That's not the guy that, in your head, clear na clear kung sino dapat yung partner ko.
I feel like how you receive these things coming from left field are very reflective of, like, they mirror what's in your heart, right? So if it's you and me and somebody tells me, hey, Slater's cheating on you, then that would be like, oh, no, he's not, for sure. Like, I know. But if we're rocky to begin with, and if you've already, like, we lived together and then you moved out and you've been so weird with me, and then somebody tells me, hey, he's been cheating on you, then it won't be so shocking to me anymore. Then I know, right? Because it already mirrors, it already reflects what I know in my heart.
Yes.
But refuse to kind of verbalize.
Person, yes.
Yeah, kind of something like that.
Even just reading the letter, parang alam mo na Alam mo na may problem to that you actually need to address and fix. And possibly, it cannot be fixed. So, super straightforward, masakit na answer. And I think, because I've been there, hindi na to tama I'm just accepting this because mahal ko yung tao. Pero parang meron akong konting denial na lang of how it is going.
I think you need to treat yourself with a lot more respect because you deserve better than that. Like, I wouldn't want to be with a partner na secretly may tinetext na iba. Tapos kung nahuli ko na nga, wala pang reason, parang di ba, bibigyan, di ba? You don't give importance to how I feel. Parang that's not cool. All right, now to keep it light, kasi medyo mabigat yung mga problema na nabasa natin. Let's end with a funny one. Help! My boyfriend is always snoring loudly. Relate! Ooh!
Nung nakita ni Kryz tong letter na to, sabi niya, okay, let's talk about this. Number one, relate na relate siya. And number two, apparently, this is a big problem. This is not just me. This is like almost all married couples, or like a lot of married couples have this problem. I remember we were talking to one couple, almost silang naghiwalay. Wait,
Sorry.
Na-advance na tayo. Basahin muna natin yung letter, love.
Okay, so sabi niya, I'm married to the funniest, loveliest man, but he snores so loud every night. Ako pa nagsulat nito. I'm a light sleeper. Ako talaga to. Even loud breathing wakes me up or can't make me sleep. I tried using earplugs, but it didn't work. For the past 2 years, I have been repositioning my husband for that specific position na he won't snore. But now, hindi na siya effective. Can I just say, parang ako talaga nagsulat. Lahat on point.
Feeling ko ikaw nagsulat nito Tapos, dinaan mo lang sa...
dinaan sa letter from the sky. Okay. I told him about it and he asks me why I am being so selfish. Is it selfish to want to get a good night's sleep too? We can both be grumpy and mabilis mainis or pikon if kulang sa tulog.
Sige, rewind muna tayo with our journey ni Kryz. I used to snore and then tinutulak niya ako. So,
snore loudly.
So that nakakat yung snore ko. Tinutulak niya ako to my side or paminsan nafe-feel ko talaga na sinisipa na niya ako.
Yeah. Girl, when it's 4 a.m., it's so, like, you haven't slept for hours and this guy sleeping like a baby and snoring so loud. You're like...
So, yung issue niya. So, dumaan siya sa earplugs and similar to yung friend namin na kakausap namin na muntikan na silang naghiwalay. Dumaan din sila sa ganyang journey. To the point wherein, nag-separate rooms na sila. Was it like that?
Parang may usapan
mas malayo?
May usapan na kailangan mag-surgery yung guy. Parang ganyan. Super lala. Kasi hindi talaga sila makatulog. Ilang years na.
So it's kind of like, hey, who fixes the problem? Do I give you earplugs? Or ako yung may dadaanan para hindi ako mag-snore? Do I like have tape in my mouth or whatever? Yeah. So it's like a back and forth of that.
For me, nagtry ako mag-earplugs. Hindi siya effective. And also, it's not healthy for you to be wearing earplugs every night because there's a thing about moisture in your ear and all of these things, right? So parang I wasn't really into that idea. I feel like I've suffered enough. Parang ilang years na ako nag-suffer. But in fairness to you, love, you really tried your best to fix the problem, ha? Like, yung sinabi mo na naglagay ka ng tape sa mouth mo.
It says a lot about a relationship that it is always about compromise. Na parang okay, hindi mo kaya, ako try ko. It's not like, dito parang sinabi niya na, am I being selfish? No, it's not about being selfish. It's like, ano lang talaga. Hindi dapat na kung siya may kasalanan, ikaw talaga mag-fix. Or parang siya talaga mag-fix. So, it's about finding the right compromise kung saan pinaka-effective and pinaka-useful for you.
Least friction also. Yung couple namin actually na nakausap, earplugs yung solution nila.
Okay.
Earplugs lang yun. Super bilis lang. So parang imagine, they reached the point where she was gonna ask her husband to get surgery when yung solution pala, super bilis lang, earplugs lang pala.
Yes.
So sometimes, as a woman or as the person who is experiencing sleepless nights, parang inis na inis ka sa partner mo because you haven't slept in years. Right? So you just wanna shove the problem to him and say like, fix it, find a solution. But sometimes, like pride down lang, kuha ka lang ng earplugs, tapos na.
Yeah. But for me, to the point of nagsisnore ka, to the point of waking up your significant other, CPAP talaga.
Yeah.
There's like so many studies about CPAPs. Mahal lang nga siya. I think mine was like 80,000. But it's very, very effective because whenever you snore, parang kang chine-choke eh. Hindi sakto yung airway. So it's like someone is choking you. So your heart is working overtime and paminsan, I think there's like adrenaline going through your body. Kasi parang your body is trying to wake you up every time you're snoring so loudly. At least that's the signs that I know. I used to get sleepy every afternoon na at around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Nap times during the afternoon was kind of like my routine. And I thought like, oh, that's just me. But after using CPAP, iba na yung gising ko and iba na yung energy ko throughout the day. I never crave for naps ever. Dati when I wake up, I used to have this headache and I used to like roll out of bed for a long period of time.
That's because I kept kicking you at night.
Oh, yung mga ngayon, ano na talaga, like takes me like 5 minutes after I wake up, I'm up. And,
talaga?
Yeah.
Sige, record natin bukas.
No, I wake up mga 7:30, 8 o'clock. But after, when I'm up na talaga.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, I saw also a big improvement, love. And I'm very thankful to CPAP kahit mahal siya. Worth it kasi nakakatulog na ako. Pero I understand that not a lot of people are willing to spring that much. Another solution na mabigay ko sa'yo is sound machine.
Yes.
Not a lot of people can sleep through a sound machine, but I feel like a constant dull sound is a lot better than, nothing and then nothing and then like that. So like, and nakatulog ako.
Yeah.
So that's another option.
It's actually, although mahal siya, meron siyang link to like heart disease, yung mga yung snoring and sleep apnea, heart disease, like high blood pressure, and all these other things. So if you're really snoring loudly, it might be worth considering and talking to a sleep doctor. So parang meron lang siyang scale. The doctor gave me a scale of 1 to 10. Yung sa akin was just 6.
Okay.
So kahit nagre-reklamo ka, 6 lang sa akin.
6 na rin yun.
No, pero sabi niya, you really don't need it later. But tinry ko and yun, it really helped me out. So yun.
Yeah. So, in conclusion,
Ang dami mga problema when it comes to Valentine's Day.
let's just scrap this holiday.
But what I realized when I was like being more mature with my relationships, as I always put myself first. The better I become as a person, the better my standards are on who my partner has to be. So parang,
So you don't
ito na yung
put up-
nagiging standard ko lang.
Thanks.
Pero
So you
yeah,
don't put up
you don't
na-
put up with like flaky na mga, yung hindi ako sinasagot, bahala ka na. So parang, hindi na siya, oh, please love me, please love me, please love me. It's more of, are we on the same level? Are we on the same vibe? If we're not, then no hard feelings, iba na naman. So it's more of like growing yourself first, being able to stand on your own 2 feet first so that you don't take bull.
And you don't look for love elsewhere. Because complete ka na as a whole. You're a whole by yourself.
Yes. So parang you're independent and the other person is just there if they want to be along for the ride or not. Pero parang ikaw mismo, kompleto ka na. Hindi ka na, oh, I'm gonna find someone who can complete me. Hindi na ganyan yung attitude mo.
Sabi nga nila, it's not half and half make a whole. It's one whole and one whole make two. Ang pangit, ganun na lang.
Ganyan na lang yung mathematics.